I'd like to now welcome Khailee Ng, Managing Partner of Vibrant Startups.
Hey, thanks, Cheryl. So, thanks for sharing that top secret story. It's kind of a really cool story because it's the first time you actually witnessed the Malaysian government move faster than the Singaporean government. So, kind of ironic, when we first opened up this event to the public as well, right? Now that the cereal program is over, we put out the invite. I just took half an hour to just make the little flyer myself, write the copy, pass it out to the MaGIC team. On the same day, an 80-person hall was already filled up in the same day where the MaGIC team sent it out. So it seems like a lot of Malaysians are very quick to RSVP on things which are free. What happened afterwards was like, okay, since it's all filled up and people are messaging our Facebook saying, hey, any more ticket? They say close already. So we're like, okay, let's get a bigger hall, right? So we got this bigger hall. Then now it's like 20% empty, right? What the hell? These Malaysians again, whack, the free one never come. Okay, never mind. You guys are here, so you guys are probably really into this, I hope. What we're going to talk about today, right, with growth, marketing, and distribution, the reason why there are so three words over there, because nobody's kind of decided on one word for it yet. But I'll tell you, but you guys know what it is when you guys see it happen to your startups. For me, I never raised the most money in all the startups I built. When we were doing the group buying startup, we were late to the game, and the rest of our competitors were actually funded a few $1 million more than us. But in 3 months, we became number 2. We beat most of them before we sold it to Groupon. And even while at Groupon, it's just the way we grew the company, not just in marketing spend, but how you run the company was just a bit more efficient. So it always ended up, we were always on the top of the game. Even with the Sales.com news site as well, there were a lot of other news websites with a crap ton of historical traffic, but we're now probably one of the top 5 news sites, on a much smaller budget. So a lot of the stuff that we talk about and think about today is all stuff that we'll be sharing, right? It doesn't only help you if you've got a huge round of funding. It helps you whether you have no funding. It helps you whether you've got $50 you borrow from your mom to start a startup. It's going to be useful in every context. But it wasn't until I became a venture capitalist where I found that this whole lack of knowledge of growth, marketing, and distribution was actually kind of a crisis. Now you think about it this way. Every VC would raise a few $100 million and then invest in a bunch of startups. There's hundreds of VCs all over the world raising about $1 trillion in maybe the past 5 years, just investing into companies. These companies raise between, at a good Series A, maybe $5 million, and then they go about spending a lot of it on customer acquisition. Let's say your startup raised $4 million, and then you started spending heavily on customer acquisition. And let's say how you spend it is crappy by 30%. Okay, it sucks by 30%. So you spend $4 million, 30%. That's $1.2 million that you are burning, you're lighting on fire, because you're just 30% crappier. So the question is, what can venture capitalists do to help companies be 30% less crappy? Maybe you save $1.2 million. Maybe even if you raise $1 million, you get 20% better. That creates another $200,000 worth of value. So in a way, a lot of what we're going to learn today, you can make an argument is as valuable as raising $200,000 and maybe even more. Now, we at 500 Startups obviously saw this as a great opportunity to, what happened to the slides? Okay, cool. Message brought to you by NEC. Alright, coming on. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so we saw it as an opportunity not just to give money to companies, but also give education. Growth, marketing, and distribution is in our blood. The founding partner, Dave Winkler, he did developer marketing for PayPal because they had to attract developers to build on PayPal platform. His first angel investments in Mint, Simply Hired, and SlideShare, he was working with them on their marketing teams. And he was also known for pioneering this framework for marketing called Startup Metrics for Pirates, also known as R, which stands for acquisition, activation, retention, revenue, and referrals. So, and today a lot of, actually some university programs even adopted that framework to teach it in some of their programs. And a lot of this marketing also bled into our 4-month accelerator programs in San Francisco and Mountain View. Cheryl spoke a bit about her experience in working with Mike Greenfield, one of the mentors at our accelerators. And that, of course, involved into our one-on-one distribution service for portfolio companies. So the companies who receive funding from us actually have a chance to work one-on-one with some of these experts for a period of months. So at least on our side, we make sure the money is spent properly, and then on the startup side, they're going to get more customers and more users as a result. So this program, So in terms of growth, distribution, and marketing and growing faster, we applied a lot of the same principles for ourselves. I mean, if we're teaching it, we obviously have to be pretty good at it ourselves, right? So for 500 startups, we're already known in Silicon Valley to be the most active seed stage investor, as researched by CB Insights. But quite recently, we've also been cited by CB Insights to be the most active US investor internationally. We've done about 900 plus investments all over the world in 40 over countries, and that's in the past 4.5 years. And collectively, our startups have raised over $2 billion US. So this program, I'll just give a bit of background context of what the program was, and then what we're going to share with you today. The program was 8 weeks with one of our top mentors in our network, and we picked 4 venture-backed companies. Now, the 4 venture-backed companies collectively, they have raised about $8 million US before they joined the program. A lot of it, of course, thanks to iMoney as well. They're part of the program. And they worked hands-on with Juan for a while. So today we're going to show you, we're going to have Juan, the trainer who trained these companies, come up and share with you like a 1-hour version of what he's done with them in 8 weeks. Okay, so it's like a highly compressed, super potent, nuclear-powered version, right, of like the 8-week program. And after that, we're going to show you 4 videos. They're like video case studies on each of these companies. What they've been through, what the specific things they worked on, what kind of results they produced. After that, Juan's going to come back on to share another segment of a bit of an extension, a bonus segment, if you will, of something extra. And then we're going to invite some of the team members of these companies who were in Cerebro to come on stage for a massive Q&A, where you guys can ask questions, and then we'll just be here. I'll be here as well. We'll be here to answer these questions live. Now, a few things, two more things you gotta know. The first thing is that I gotta tell you a bit about, I'll tell you about how to actually use today first. Okay, 2 things. The first thing is about to ask questions today. There's a hashtag that we're gonna use today. It's hashtag, let me see if I have this somewhere. No, okay. Hashtag GMC500. So it's GMD500, sorry. Growth, Marketing, and Distribution 500. GMD500. So if you tweet a question, you hashtag GMD500, these questions, I'll be like checking the feed and I'll be refreshing it on my phone. And then later during the Q&A, we're going to use these questions to, we're going to pick a few questions, we're going to answer them. If you tweet your question and you don't put this hashtag, I may not be able to find that question, so remember to use your hashtag GMD500, and we'll answer those questions. And if we don't manage to answer those questions today, like Juan and I, we'll answer those questions on Twitter, after the conference as well. So I take those Twitter questions really seriously. I was at another conference, and then there were these questions coming up about my hair. So that's irrelevant. It's a very private, sensitive issue, right? So these wigs are very expensive. You know what I mean? So I don't want to talk about them. So you ask questions specifically about growth, marketing, and distribution to the hashtag GMD500. Now the last thing I want to share with you is a little bit about who Juan is and why did we choose to fly Juan down. Now, Juan comes from what I call like a school of hard knocks, when it comes to learning growth, marketing, and distribution. He wasn't given millions of US dollars of venture capital to experiment and play and have fun and figure out what works and burn a couple %. He picked it up on his own. He spent his own money selling products, affiliate products, just spending the own money that he had to actually generate cash flow to reinvest that. And collectively, he had built, in his career, 3 million leads and $20 million worth of sales without a single dollar of venture capital. Now, all of that done again just through his hustle and just through his hardcore obsession with growth, marketing, and distribution. And when he comes on stage, you see how obsessed a man can get, in this topic. More than that, his background, he never really started as an internet marketer or a growth kind of guy as well. Because he had spent his earlier part of his career building high-performance teams for IBM, Telefonica Group, and some oil and gas companies. So in these high-performance teams, he also spent time in the early days in Mind Valley, where he took a 40-person team up to about 100 people, and also increased the revenues from, at the time when he joined, I think Juan can correct the numbers later, but it was about $10 million upwards towards 20. So he was Mind Valley's first COO, putting a lot of processes for the teams to get Mind Valley more efficient and more productive, so that it can achieve the kind of growth that it has been achieving so far. And even more impressively, even after Juan moved on to Mind Valley Hispano to build the Spanish-speaking version of Mind Valley, the core Mind Valley continued to grow. And I think that's very impressive, which is why when he works with entrepreneurs, this 8 weeks that he's been working with these people, the growth doesn't end when Juan leaves, these things tend to continue. How do I know this? Because I've known Juan's reputation, and I invited him to mentor at the 500 Startups Mexico accelerators, and the teams over there rave about Juan. And the accelerator managers in Mexico kept talking about Juan. They flew him back again and again, and the startups can't get enough of Juan. Because every time Juan talks to them, they just get things that they can immediately apply, things they can immediately do, and things that can help them not just in that 1 hour of Juan working with them, but a lifetime for the startup. So, without further ado, I am going to bring up Juan for a 1 hour nuclear-powered, action-packed version of this 8 weeks to grow thing, okay? You guys get your pens ready to take notes, you guys get your Twitter handles ready to ask questions, and you guys stay very, very alert, because if you miss 1 minute, you're gonna miss a few $1,000 worth of potential customers and sales. And I'm not kidding, right? You're gonna see in a bit. Right, so give the loudest round of applause again. Make